Hello and welcome to another episode of This Kind Company. My name is Allison Clark and I want to introduce my kindness sister,
Linda Cohen, the Kindness Catalyst. Thanks,
Woo!
Allison.
And today we found another person who has as much passion for kindness as we do. I first heard about our next guest when my friend sent me a picture of this chapstick. And so I said, what is this chapstick? And it's called Kind Lips. And I thought, brilliant. So I ordered it on Amazon and I loved the messaging in this because 20% of all of their profits go back to preventing bullying. So our guest today is the person who created this product. And so we are going to just hear his story and why he is so passionate about kindness. So please help me welcome Josh Neumann to our kindness show. Woo!
Welcome, Josh.
Thank you all for having me.
Yes, Josh. So first off, tell us where you are right now.
I'm in sunny Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Woo.
Very nice. And we did see your dog. So tell us about, you have a dog. Tell us about your family. Do you have fur babies? Like, what do you?
Just a fur baby. Yeah. So Cooper is my first dog I've ever had.
Yay.
And I figured it was time to have some major responsibilities. So Cooper was one step in the right direction for that.
And what kind of dog is he?
He's a mini golden doodle. And
and now
I think I've had him for 6 months now, and he is teaching me a lot more than I'm probably teaching him. And I say that he's better at being a dog than I am at being a human. So hopefully it won't always be that way. But
oh my gosh. Well, he's adorable. So he's going to be part of the interview as well, because we see him in the background, which is fabulous. So tell us, I was reading your story. This started in 2017. Is that correct? Kind of your idea, your passion, or even when you're little, like you've always loved chapstick. So tell us how this started.
Yeah, I'd always loved chapstick, but never had any kind of an idea that would turn into anything other than just an affinity towards finding a lip balm that worked well. And I was in another career for 12 years and really enjoyed it. And actually, I enjoyed it for 10 years. The last 2 years, I didn't really enjoy it as much. So, after taking enough punishment from it, I was like, I need to find something else that I enjoy, that makes me really happy, and that I feel like I'm contributing again, because I did for the first 10 years and the last 2 I didn't. And I was sitting on my couch one night and having a little discussion with myself, being like, what do I enjoy? What do I want to do when I grow up? And I looked down at my hand and I was twirling a lip balm, and I realized that I've always loved lip balm. This can't be rocket science to start a lip balm company. So that's how the name came about, or the idea came about. I have to let him know he's going to keep barking.
That's good. That's why we wanted to meet him, Cooper. Welcome to the
Cooper.
Very excited.
Yeah.
And then my mom, so I had this weird idea to start a lip balm company, and my mom happened to call me soon after. And I told her this idea about how I want to start a company called Blessed Lips, and I want to have it be prayed over and blessed, because after I thought about starting a lip balm company, I remembered about this Japanese scientist, is Dr. Emoto, and I had been reading about him a week prior. And he did this study where he took these 3 jars and filled them up with rice and water. And he labeled one love, one hate, and one he didn't label at all. For 30 days, he'd walk up to the one jar and be like, I love you. Other jar, he'd say, I hate you. And the third one, he wouldn't say anything to it. And at the end of his 30 days, the one he said, I love you to, the rice stayed white. The one he said, I hate you to, the rice turned black and mushy. And the one that he didn't say anything to, it was brown. So it's like, that's super interesting. And I was thinking through that. I'm like, obviously, like if I give somebody a compliment, they stand up a little bit straighter and their cheeks blush, and it just feels good internally. And as I read into his studies, he also did a water study where he would pray over water and or speak kind words to water. And then he would look at a molecule under a microscope and it would look like a snowflake. Or he would say negative things and it would look blobbish and distorted. And so I made the connection that our bodies are 85% water, depending on the time of the month. And in that if our words have that much power over one drop of water, like obviously it's going to have that. So that's where the idea of Blessed Lips came about. My mom was like, you'll be great at whatever you do. And she happened to call me the next morning at 6 a.m. and she had the most vivid dream she's ever had in her entire life. And she said that me and my sister got in a massive fight in her dream. And I said some mean things to my sister. And for my punishment, she made me sit down at a desk and write the law of kindness is on my lips 50 times. And she said each time I wrote a sentence in the words kind and lips, they flew off the page and hit her in the face. She goes, if you're going to start this lip balm company, you're supposed to call it Kind Lips.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, Mom, you're amazing. Like, thank you. And I got chills in that moment. And I felt like the product just had a higher calling on it than just being a good lip balm. So it was a reminder to speak kind words every time that put it on our lips.
I love that. I heard you say that in the video and I was like, that gave me chills to speak kind lips every time you're remembering.
For sure. And then, so how did you figure out how to give 20% back to bullying? So why is bullying, why is stopping bullying like really a focus and passion for you?
Yeah. Growing up, I would get a $1 a week for allowance for doing chores. And we would go to church and I always had to bring a dime, 10 cents would have to go to church. And so my parents taught me that growing up, like giving back to charity in some way. And so as I continued into adulthood and every job I had, I'd always give 10% of whatever I'd make to charity or church. And I always wanted to do more as I continued to make more money in my other career. And I could never get myself to consistently give 20%. And I just really felt a calling to do that. So when I started Kind Lips, I knew right away, I'm like, whatever it is, I'm just going to donate 20% off the top and then work the business around it. And thinking through what I've had some friends that have committed suicide. And I also have some friends that have really struggled with mental health. And as I was thinking through what is important to me, the anti-bullying in my mind kind of encompasses all of that. And so we do a horrible job at this time of marketing that those two things are included in kind of like the essence of what it is. But bullying for us is, social media bullying to mental health to suicide prevention all kind of fall under that same gap. So that's what it means to me and why I did it. It goes along well with the intention of our words. Obviously speaking a kind word can change somebody's day, as can saying something mean to somebody will change their day for the negative.
Oh, for sure.
What has the reaction been as you've launched this, this chapstick? And do you call it lip balm? Call it lip balm.
I call it Kind Lips. I would love for everybody to call chapstick Kind Lips from the future. But I know we're not there yet. It's been really good. I think people love the mission and the idea of it. It's the hard part with lip balm that I'm learning is usually most people don't buy it unless they see it somewhere and they're in need of it. So in terms of getting awareness of it, it's not as easy as hoped. But, once people find the product and or find out what our mission and the intention of our brand is, I've had a lot of really good positive feedback. So it's been great.
Well, yeah, it's such a great visual. Now I have the sweet mint, which I love. What other flavors, or not flavors, but what do you call them?
Flavors.
Okay. I don't get it, but yeah. What other flavors do you have?
We have a vanilla lemon, Georgia peach, a raspberry lemonade, a cocoa bean, which to me is like I should reach out to Weight Watchers because it's like dessert in a tube, and I put it on after I eat. It keeps me from eating dessert. We have a strawberry flavor that's coming, and a couple more that are in the works of being finished up. So,
and that's
the fun part.
What's your best selling one?
Probably sweet mint.
Sweet mint. Okay.
Yeah.
I have the best one.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Josh, when you get these ideas, like possibly partnering with other organizations, I think that's such an important way I'm thinking maybe as somebody who's gone through Weight Watchers has potentially been bullied about their weight. So you never know when you think of something like that. And I know for Allison and I, we're both speakers on kindness. I'm sure 10, 12 years ago, we didn't necessarily think that was what we were going to be speaking about, but there's a need for it. And so, getting your product out there in any unique way is such a cool idea.
Well, especially now with the statistics, over 45% of people are experiencing some sort of mental health issues. Suicide is up, loneliness is up. So just to remind people, as we all do, of your power, what comes out of your mouth could truly change someone's day or even their life. So I love your mission. I love your focus, and I love the visual when people actually see it and use your product.
Thank you. I have this favorite little restaurant here in Minneapolis that I'd go to and get takeout food all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was before I even had a label on the product. I just had a white tube that I had, because I made the product on my stove at home, came up with a formula and did that. And so I was like, just bringing it around, testing it. And I was in this restaurant waiting for my food to get ready. And I saw these two women. They're, I would say, mid 60s, early 70s. And I was like, they just were having this conversation and looked so beautiful. And like, they're having just a great time. And my first thought was like, wow, these are just two beautiful, classy women. And then I was like, I should tell them that. And then my introverted side showed up, and I was like, no, that's weird and awkward. I'm not, mind your own business. And I pulled out my tube that didn't even have the label on it yet, put on the lip balm, and I was like, I have to tell them. Mm-hmm. And so I got my food and awkwardly walked by and stopped. And I was like, I just have to let you two know. And there was nothing that I wanted other than just to tell them, what I was thinking. I didn't need anything from them. And I'm sure they're like, the guy was weird, but I still left and went about my day. And it just feels so good. And I need a reminder as much as anyone to like, not because I'm unkind, but even that I have these very kind thoughts all the time. And I still get in my own head about sharing them. And there's really no reason not to. So
I'm seeing this. Are you into meditation or mindfulness, or were you before this? Because I think that's the reminder you're mentioning, is just by pulling something out and seeing that repetitively, you begin to pause and make a different choice. For you, and as you share this, if elementary students had a lip balm had a Kind Lips in their pocket, maybe that would be a reminder for them as well. So,
actually, in the first 3 months that I started the business, and someone had ordered 33 tubes on our website, and you could order one tube at that time. And I was like, it was the biggest order that we'd had. And I was like, this is amazing. And a few months later, the same person emailed me and said, hey, can I have a conversation with you? And so she called, and we set up this time, and she was a third grade teacher. And she said that she had the most challenging class that she'd ever had, and behaviorally. And so she bought these tubes and she gave one to each of the students and did a curriculum with them. And she said all the students kept them in their desk. And 3 months later, she said it ended up being one of the better, more well-behaved classes that she's ever had. And she said the students actually started policing each other, saying, oh, Johnny, you should put your Kind Lips on. Instead of saying, Johnny, you were mean to me. And then all of a sudden, Kind Lips became that buffer in between the people, or in between the students. And so no one was felt attacked. It was just a reminder to put their Kind Lips on. And so we did start a school program. So your head's right in the right place. We do have a school program and now a curriculum built around it. So.
Oh my gosh. And what a great age just to get people in that mindset to be aware of their power. And you are not alone. Everyone, I believe, can appreciate out loud more, because we all think kind thoughts, or at least most of us do. So if we can just all be brave enough to actually say it, or give the positive review on social media, or send the kind text or the email. But if everyone did one kind act a day, just verbally, think about how much better this world would be.
Yeah,
so amazing. We love your mission. I love your chapstick. Josh, if
I'm ordering mine today, I need some.
Yes. So Josh,
order every flavor.
Get it. I found mine on Amazon, but what's the best way that people can actually buy your product?
Our website works well. We have free shipping.
Okay.
So kindlips.com.
Okay.
So that works. Amazon, a lot of local boutiques around the country have it. And, we're in some random places like Barney's in Tokyo. And so it's so funny how some of this stuff comes up, but
right.
But our website seems to be the most efficient.
So kindlips.com. Well, thank you again for being a guest on this kind company, because you are definitely an example of making a difference, having a visual that reminds all of us to be just a little bit more kind. So thank you so much for being part of the kindness culture.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.